shake from my bed to the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8. Will today be rough or will today be great? 9, 10, 11, 12. Lately I've been going through hell. 13, 14, 15, 16. Today's the day. Are you coming? Are you sick of being normal? I'm sick of being average. I'm sick of being mortal. I'm about to be a savage. I see a lot of things that I want, I will have them. I got a new mindset that I just established. I'll march through the cold with the nails on the pavement. I'll shovel that coal just to get out the basement. My story will be told, helping others make changes. I'll be so bold, they will watch in amazement.
Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start over? I keep waiting. Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it. Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start over? I keep waiting. Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it.
Foot up on the pedal, pushing hard to the metal. Make a deal with the devil. Channel rage through my vessel into something that is special. Energy of a rebel, going up a level. I just wanna be greatness. I could feel changes, turn a new page and tie up my laces. I will be the bravest, break out of my cages. I will not be nameless, I will not be aimless.
Face it, am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start over? I keep waiting. Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it. Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start over? I keep waiting. Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it.
Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm back. I needed to reset. Sometimes you need to do that. So, came across this case last night because I didn't get home until yesterday. I've been gone a week. And I was in total shock. So, this case here is about a woman that went to have her baby, and the baby said, I miss you too, Fox. Thank you. Baby was born decapitated. Oh, the story is crazy, okay? And so I looked up the doctor, and we're going to look at her. I got the presser. I got the funeral home interview. What else did I grab? Oh, I got you guys know I don't read, but 42-page document of this. I got that. But, you know, the wonderful PDF files that you can download, you can also have that voice activated where it reads it out. And what's really sad, these parents, they're young. They're young. And what they tried, okay, everything's alleged. I better get that out there so I don't get sued. These parents are young. And they tried to play it off and told the parents, allegedly, they didn't need an autopsy on the baby. Very sad, you guys. Has anybody heard of this case by any chance before I start? Okay. So we will start with the presser, okay, with the attorney. And also, let's see, I went to the court docket to see if there's court date or anything yet, and there's not, but because it just got filed August 9th, these documents. So here we go.
When our clean, shiny truck pulls up in front of your house, yes, everyone starts clapping because everyone is happy. And that's why they all start dancing. Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
What's going on here? Why hasn't it started yet? Hold on, you guys. Sorry. I don't know why it hasn't started. Hold on.
Medical Center in Clayton County has responded after a mother and father.
When you or your family is injured in a car accident.
Sorry, guys. There's a problem here. I didn't have this problem earlier. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going somewhere else. All right. I hate it. You know what? You try to get everything ready and then you get issues like that. But here it is. Hold on. Here we go. Here's the presser right here.
We're here because this young couple, Jessica Ross and Travion Taylor, their son was decapitated during a botched attempt at delivery at Southern Regional Medical Center in Riverdale, Georgia. In my experience, my 12 years experience practicing medicine and 20 years basically doing law, this is one of the most sad, egregious, and horrific situations that I've ever seen. We're here to announce the filing of a lawsuit against Dr. Tracy St. Julian, her medical practice, premier women's OBGYN, nurses, and other healthcare providers at Southern Regional Medical Center and Southern Regional Medical Center itself due to these horrific circumstances. Before we get started, let me just introduce the people who are here. First of all, we have Jessica Ross. She's the mother of the decedent baby, baby Travion Isaiah Taylor Jr. This is Mr. Taylor. He's a senior. We have the lawyer that represents him who basically engaged our firm to move this case. This is Attorney Corey Lynch. We've got my law partner, Attorney Keith Lindsay. We've got law associate here, attorney nurse practitioner Wanda Gant. And then we have she just finished law school, but she's studying for the bar. This is Clark Edmond. We also have Sho Watson in the back here. He's a senior associate or senior partner or counsel with our firm. Let me just cut straight to the chase and talk about the case itself. The case that we have filed is a wrongful death case on behalf of baby Travion Isaiah Taylor Jr. It's a medical malpractice case, but it also has another twist to it, which unfortunately happened. We have alleged fraud and intentional infliction of emotional distress due to misrepresentation by people who are involved in Ms. Ross's healthcare. More specifically, in terms of the fraud, which exposes these parties to punitive damages in Georgia, we have the failure of Dr. St. Julian to immediately inform this couple about the decapitation once she spoke with them after the procedure. We also have misrepresentation and fraud on the part of other healthcare providers there at Southern Regional who lied to this couple and told them that their situation did not warrant a free autopsy paid for by the county or by the state. Just the opposite. These circumstances for sure warrant an autopsy paid for by the state or by the county. And they also tried to encourage this couple to get the baby cremated before an autopsy was done. So there was an attempt to basically destroy evidence. And Attorney Lynch is going to go more into detail about that. This case shines a much brighter light on an issue that is endemic to our society here in America. It's the disparities in terms of maternal infant deaths and injuries in young Black mothers in America. There's a 2021 Blue Cross Blue Shield study that dealt with racial disparities in maternal health. In that study, they determined after deep scientific research that in majority Black communities, these women have a 63% higher incident of having damage to themselves or their babies. These numbers are similar in the Hispanic community. And then when you take this high number, the numbers are even higher amongst young people between the ages of 15 and 24. As you can see, Ms. Ross is both young and Black. So I'm going to turn this over to Attorney Corey Lynch. He's going to let you know more about our clients here. Attorney Lynch.
Good morning. This case is, and this family is dear to my heart. They are from the same place that I am from. They both grew up down in Riverdale in the North Clayton High School area, and they both attended North Clayton High School. And so that's home for me. That's where I grew up, and they hold a special place in my heart. And it's unfortunate that the healthcare providers at Southern Regional Hospital, after this horrific incident, told them these things and tried to hide what actually happened. And they also did not report the death to the authorities of Clayton County or the Clayton County Medical Examiner. This report was made by a funeral home. And after the funeral home waved the flag and alerted the authorities regarding this, it wasn't until then when Dr. St. Julian told the family what actually happened. Up to that point, they had encouraged the family to, hey, just have a cremation done. Oh, no, you cannot do a autopsy. Well, if you want an autopsy, you have to get it paid for you by yourself. You're not entitled to that. They did everything in their power to try to not let the family know what actually happened on that date. And that's unfortunate. And there is a current investigation going on with Clayton County Police Department and the Medical Examiner's Office, as well as the GBI, into the failure to report the death that happened and this incident. And because of this fraud, this misrepresentation, the family is seeking punitive damages against Southern Regional Medical Center, Dr. St. Julian, and other parties to the lawsuit.
Attorney Lynch is going to tell you a little bit more about our clients also.
All right, Jessica and Travion met at North Clayton High School. And that's where their love story begins. They've been together for a little while. And they were so excited about the birth of their first child. And they went to Premier for care because they were close by. They were in the neighborhood, and because there were women doctors there. And they thought that they would get the best care there. But unfortunately, their dreams and hopes turned into a nightmare that was covered up by Southern Regional Medical Center. And that's why we're here today.
Thank you, Attorney Lynch. Let me just tell you very briefly, let me just tell you all about what happened, okay? On July the 9th, 2023, just a few weeks ago, Jessica and Travion, they were excited. She was 37 weeks pregnant at that time, and they were really, really looking forward to the delivery of their firstborn child. Her water broke at about 10 o'clock in the morning on the 9th. Appropriately, she went over to labor and delivery over the Southern Regional. They admitted her and put her on an IV and gave her some medicine to basically progress the delivery. She labored for about 10 hours, and then probably around 10, or strike that, about 8:40 in the evening, she was fully dilated and told her to start pushing. Well, during the course of the pushing, the baby stopped descending. There's something called a shoulder dystocia, fancy word for saying that the baby's shoulders could not fit through the pelvic girdle. It got stuck by the bone there in the pelvic girdle. That was recognized, and what wound up happening after that is just brutal. Dr. St. Julian came in, and she, in the process of trying to deliver this baby, pulled on the baby's head and neck so hard and manipulated them so hard that the bones in the baby's skull, face, and neck were broken. When Dr. St. Julian finally took Miss Ross to the operating room for a C-section, cesarean section, where they cut the belly and deliver the baby through the abdomen, when the womb was opened, the feet came out, the body came out, and there was no head. The head was stuck in the vagina, and the head subsequently was delivered vaginally. The baby had been decapitated. Dr. St. Julian was grossly negligent for applying ridiculously excessive force on the baby's head and neck. Dr. St. Julian and the nurses at Southern Regional Medical Center, they were grossly negligent for not getting the help of the on-site in-hospital OB in a timely manner. They have a hospitalist obstetrician who's there on site. And when doctors have problems with delivery, the first thing you do is call them and you get help. You get another perspective, another angle. This was not done in a timely manner, negligently. And then also the nurses at Southern Regional Medical Center were grossly negligent for failing to advocate and insist in other capacities that Ms. Ross got a C-section quicker, sooner, in a more timely manner. So those are the allegations that we claim in this suit. We just filed it. We're going to be very, very aggressive with the discovery. We're going to put all of these people who were in the room under oath and find out what they have to say specifically about what happened that tragic evening. That is the essence of our suit. That's the essence of the press conference, and we're going to open things up for open things up for question right now.
Have you spoken with the hospital? I mean, why do you think they tried to cover this up?
Yeah, we cannot speculate about what the motivations were for the lack of candor, the lack of disclosure, the misrepresentation, and the fraud. We will find out because we're going to put everybody under oath, and they're going to swear, and they're going to tell us what they were thinking. We don't know.
How long did it take Jessica and Javon to learn what happened to their child?
Attorney Lynch, if you would. Just dealing with the fraud and cover-up.
The family went in on the 9th for the delivery of the child. They were not notified of what actually happened until the 13th, a few days later.
And that was from the medical examiner? That wasn't?
No, that was from the funeral home.
That was from the funeral.
Yes.
Can you also speak to the fact that they were not allowed to hold their child?
Yes, they were not allowed to hold their child. The hospital basically said, hey, well, we can't let you hold the child. We can, and my understanding is that they at one time did not want them to see the child. But what they did, the hospital wrapped the child up very tightly so that they could not see what actually happened. And they were able to see the child behind the glass.
And let me be more specific. In an attempt to basically misrepresent and miscommunicate to the family, when they wrapped this baby up tightly, they propped the baby's head up on top of the blanket to make it appear as though the head was actually attached when it wasn't.
So they actually saw the baby on the day of the delivery?
The day that morning, well, the day of the delivery, it's my understanding that same day. So when I say same day, kind of went from the 9th into the 10th. So the stat C-section was called at about close to midnight. The surgery was over at 3 a.m. The first conversation that Dr. St. Julian had with the couple was at about 5 a.m. And that's when there was not total candor and disclosure at that time. The records reflect that Dr. St. Julian came in The next day and the next day after, with the intention of actually telling the couple the truth. The couple reasonably didn't want to talk to her at that time. And finally, a day after she was discharged, there was a meeting that occurred 4 days after delivery where Dr. St. Julian came clean.
Just for clarity purposes, can you kind of go through the timeline of when the birth happened or the C-section,
Sure.
when they learned their baby did not make it, and then when they learned
Okay.
what
Okay.
happened?
And all of this is in the complaint and in the facts, but
Can you step closer to the?
yeah, all of this is in the complaint and it's in the facts. But the water broke at about 10 in the morning. They were admitted into the hospital at L&D at about 10 in the morning, 10:11 in the morning. The labor continued at about 8:40 in the evening. That's when she was fully dilated and she started pushing. All of the shoulder dystocia and the failure to sin occurred from 8:40 until about midnight. At about 11:49 p.m., after Dr. St. Julian had been manipulating the head and the neck and the like, trying to get this baby delivered, that's when she finally called for the stat C-section. And they took Miss Ross from the labor and delivery suite, which is a separate room. The operating room was just right next door. So they rolled through the doors and then they proceeded and started with the C-section. The C-section, the baby was delivered at about 12:11. That's what the records show. You can go back to the complaint and just verify. But about 10 minutes after rolling the baby back there, the mother back there, the baby was delivered again. Half of the baby first, and then the head a couple seconds after that. And then at 5 in the morning, after the surgery was over at 3 in the morning. At 5 in the morning, that's when Dr. St. Julian came in and gave them the misinformation.
Did your clients raise concerns during the delivery about how things were going, and did they feel like they were ignored because of their race?
The answer is, in fact, yes. There's going to be more evidence developed in this, but my clients asked for a C-section much sooner than it was ever delivered, while the baby was viable.
And I don't know if Jessica or Trayvon are willing to talk about just what the emotional impact has been like.
I can tell you, we've asked them to do that. They've declined at this point. It's just too overwhelming for them. I mean, that was the plan as of yesterday, but when they were sitting in the conference room, they looked at y'all and said, we just can't do it.
Sorry, one more question. Did they feel like insurance or lack of insurance was playing into this at all, and the decision not to go for a C-section sooner?
No. All right. My law partner, Keith Lindsay, just has conclusionary remarks.
Thank you, Ron. Thank all of you for coming and attending this most important story. It is as horrific as it sounds. We're happy to email copies of the complaint to each and every one of you. We'll get with our paralegal Alexis for that. And then if you have any questions or requests for interviews, contact Ryan Julison. His number is 321-377-6877. Ryan Julison, and that's JULISON @gmail.com. Again, thank you all for coming.
All right. Yeah, let's come on.
How sad is that? Now, I don't know if anybody here's had kids, or our dads or whatever been in a labor delivery room. Now, as for me, I've had 4 kids, and the only thing I was ever worried about is if the baby's going to be healthy, 10 fingers, 10 toes. And my biggest fear was switching babies. You know what I mean? At birth, your baby gets switched. Nothing like this. Nothing. And you can tell they're really young. And what this hospital did, oh boy. I don't know, you guys. I'll show you a picture of the doctor. And we're going to go to her website too. So, here she is. She's been a doctor since, OB doctor since, I think, 2005. And I haven't really found anything, not yet anyways, any other malpractice like this. So we're going to go watch hopefully this will work out for me, the funeral home talk about this. All right. right, here we go.
The latest chapter in a horrible, horrible story. For the first time, we're hearing from the funeral home director that blew the whistle after he received a decapitated baby from a Metro Atlanta hospital. Atlanta News First Patrick Quinn is live tonight south of Atlanta outside Watkins Funeral Home that's in Riverdale. And Patrick, the family and agencies across the county are thanking staff there for speaking up.
Rick, the truth of the matter is, without Sylvania Watkins here, seeing this baby, noticing something was wrong, and speaking out, not only will a multi-agency investigation into this death may not be happening, but also the family might not know the truth around this young boy's death.
I've seen almost everything, and I won't say that no more because this was something I had never seen.
In mid-July, Sylvania Watkins at Willie A. Watkins Funeral Home in Riverdale received a baby's body from a nearby hospital. It didn't look right to have come from a hospital and not the coroner. He called the family and quickly realized
they didn't know. They did not know.
The parents did not know the boy's true condition. His body was detached from his head.
And seeing the pain and anguish as if like, what really just happened? Your heart goes out to them.
It was then Watkins knew he had to alert authorities. His next call, the Clayton County Medical Examiner, who now has urged the Georgia Composite Medical Board and the Secretary of State's office to investigate 3 specific doctors and the nursing staff at Southern Regional Medical Center. The family has since filed a lawsuit against the hospital and medical staff involved in the birth.
It was just horrible, despicable, terrifying.
Kimberly Seals-Allers is a maternal health advocate and executive director of Earth, an app that turns Black and brown birth experiences into data to spark change. Here in Georgia in 2022, state data shows Black infants are more than twice as likely to die during birth than white infants.
When we see systemic issues like that, this is a cultural problem, and these are the things that need to be rooted out, not just at this particular facility, but out of healthcare providers who have grown to dehumanize us and our infants.
Seals-Allers says change in birthing rooms starts with speaking up. For Sylvania, initially speechless, he found his words.
When you see wrong and it's something you can do to make it right to a certain degree, you got to speak up. You got to speak up.
And in the latest statement from the hospital, the Southern Regional Medical Center, a spokesperson said, as our deepest sympathies remain with the family, Southern Regional Medical Center denies the allegations of wrongdoing in the complaint referencing the hospital. Now, Sylvania went on to tell me that they were see their baby before he was buried. In Riverdale, Patrick Quinn, Atlanta News First.
Patrick, thank you.
Oh, you guys believe that? It gives me chills. My jewels, I miss you. Oh, thank God. Yes. Can you imagine what they thought, this funeral home? And I don't think those young parents would lie and say these kind of things. Like, if you didn't get to hold your baby, why would you make that up? Oh, God, you guys, this is just horrible. And these things do need to be talked about, okay? Because it's amazing to me this day and age, this kind of stuff happens. I know, right? Everybody loved my mama. But yeah, so this story, this case, it's not a story. It's just overwhelming. But I'm going to cover this story. And I'm going to show you the doctor, her website. And it's not that I'm being mean, but I think people need to know where this doctor comes from. Okay. This is her website, Premier Women's Gynecology. Okay, there she is, beautiful lady. And let's see. She has been practicing since January 2005. She's a certified robotic surgeon specializing in treatment of uterine, fibrosis and abnormal uterine bleeding. She's an undergrad. Performed at Prairie View A&M University, where she received a BS in biology and minor in chemistry. I mean, look at, she's very educated, you guys, just saying. Let's see. After graduation from college, she worked as a laboratory tech at Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, Texas. Her first year of medical school was 1992 at the University of Texas. She was commissioned into the U.S. military, or the U.S. Army, the same year. She got her doctorate in 1996. She did a 4-year residency in OBGYN at the National Capital Uniform Service at Walter Reed Army Medical Center. Look at, I mean, she's very educated, you guys. Let's see, what else? She was assigned to the Womack Army Medical Center at Fort Bragg after completion in the year 2000. What are your guys' thoughts? Let me stop here. And let me slow down a minute because I'm just, whew. The story will scare and make the public more aware. Exactly. I wonder if the dad got to go in the room where they did the C-section. I don't know. I feel sorry for these. I call them kids. Okay, they're kids to me. They're super young. Their first baby, and you could tell look at their looks. They look all timid and scared. And if you have these people, Duncan, you're lurking. Haha, I see you. I bet you they were afraid if they have all these professional people coming at them, because they're not naming some of the nurses. They're calling them like Jane Does or whatever they call them. Okay. You're funny. You do that too up at Dippy's. Okay, the doctor had wonderful qualifications, but something went very horrific happened in that delivery room. I feel so bad for the staff. Now, the thing about it is the staff, now, I wish I could find it, Scout. This is alleged, what I read, that somebody in that room, I could be wrong, you guys, do not take this as fact, okay? Because I haven't found the proof. I just heard it, that they weren't a registered nurse. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Okay? I want to put that out there because I really like to put out facts. Okay? If you watch me, you know this. Okay, let's see. And as for this doctor here, I didn't find anything bad about her. I don't know where in Georgia where you would go look for like any kind of malpractice. Or no, you know what? You could look in Texas too. Okay, so they mainly look at oh, look at this. Let me look here. I wonder if they have something. I'm gonna look for something, you guys. Please be patient with me. I'm gonna see if there's a thing. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, hold on. Give me a minute, guys. I'm gonna look for something for you. Okay, this ain't what I'm looking for. Well, it kind of is and kind of ain't. Hold on. I'm going to read your comment here. Has the doctor had any other malpractice suits against her? Okay. Now, like I said, I just found out about this last night. And if anybody knows me, I was gone for a week. And so I've done the best I can as of right now for researching. And I'm trying to find out in Georgia and Texas where I can find any kind of info like this. But this place that she runs here, let's see. I'm sorry, you guys. Hey, I took her off the screen. I'm sorry. Well, we're going to watch this video here real quick of this Premier Woman's gynecology place. I mean, it ain't much, but it's something. Okay? So here we go.
At Premier Women's OBGYN, our practice is exclusively involved with female healthcare issues, and we are uniquely able to diagnose and treat the needs of our patients. From conception to delivery, we're here to guide and nurture our expectant moms through the many experiences of pregnancy.
I love the doctors and staff at Premier Women's OBGYN because they deliver my little miracle, Joshua.
Premier Women's Healthcare throughout every stage of life.
Isn't that interesting? What do you think about that? Oh, I'm sorry. What do you guys think about that? So it seems to be what she specializes in is diseases and people that have trouble getting pregnant and diseases. Let's look at let's see, what do they do here? Annual checkup, pap smears, urodynamic testing, laparoscopy, vaginal incontinence, endometrial, robotic hysterectomy, hormone replacement, well woman exams, infertility, invasive surgery, whatever that word is, you guys. Oh, Scout, you're new here, and just so you know, I'm no professional at doing this. I'm just, mom with a PC. Permanent sterilization, treatment of STDs, contraceptive options, treatment for urinary, what's that, urethrin? I don't know. Some growths in the uterus, you guys. That's what I'm saying here. Let's look at the reviews. What people are saying. I have been a patient of Dr. Julian. Hold on, you guys. Let's see. For over 10 years, my family also sees her too. All the years they all have seen her. I've never had a problem. She solves all my problems, and when I leave her office, I always leave with a smile on my face. She's my favorite doctor, and I like her like a sister. She's the best. I've been to many OBGYNs, but she is only one that I will give you, or she'll give you a straightforward answer. Well, she didn't give a straightforward answer to that young mother and that young father. Just saying, you guys, just saying. Okay, and this patient was with her for 10 years. She's courteous, informative, helps her understand her body more and more. She never felt rushed into talking to her and almost changed insurance companies until I realized she would no longer be a provider for me. So you kind of get what I'm saying here, people, right? You see what I'm doing here, right? But Scout, what I will do, I will look into that malpractice and wherever else she's worked, I will, for sure. It's not surprising to me that there is wonderful, yeah, but the parents, attorneys will, oh yes, oh boy, Yep. Are there going to be a boatload of subpoenas? Yes. Let me tell you something. I went and found all the documents. Just one part of the document of the mother, okay, what do they call that? Complaint. That is 42 pages alone. Can you imagine when they get the hospital, the nurses, everybody that was involved in this situation here, this case? Not a situation, a baby lost his life, sadly. I'm going to go back. I think I've seen something here where they got videos. Let's check out a video, you guys. Oh, yeah, let's look. Let's look. Watch on YouTube. Surely. We're not going to watch that. And I'm so glad I went to YouTube to look at what this was about first. I cannot show that kind of stuff on YouTube. Okay, sorry, guys. Yes, they were first-time parents. Yep. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll take that down. Okay, I'm going to look for something else for you guys here that just popped in my head. Sorry. I'm usually really... Okay, I will look another time. I was going to try to find more stuff here. But what I will do is this here. Do you guys want to hear any of the criminal complaint by any chance? Anybody? So this is what I will do. I will play some of the criminal complaint. Okay, I'm going to go, yeah, not a problem. Like I told you guys, PDF files are so wonderful now because I don't have to read it all, and you people know I hate reading. So here we go. So I'll put the doctor's face on there so you know who we're talking about here. And I'm not hating on the woman, okay? But people need to know what's going on here. Okay. This is everybody that's being sued. Some of them they left out. Hold on. Here we go.
Nurses John and Jane does hashtag 1-6.
6 nurses, you guys. 1 guy nurse and 6 female nurses.
Premier Women's OB/GYN, LLC. Tracy LST Julian, MD.
Okay, that's the doctor. And then
Prime Healthcare Services Incorporated D/B/A. Southern Regional Medical Center.
okay. You guys following?
Plaintiffs Jessica Ross and Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Sr. are citizens and residents of the County of Clayton and the state of Georgia who are above the age of majority and who bring this action as surviving parents for the medical negligence suffered by Jessica Ross and for the wrongful death of their son, Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr.
Poor baby. Oh. All right, so let's just get right to it. I'm going to go right here. Okay.
Defendant Premier Women's OB/GYN is a limited liability corporation licensed to do business in the state of Georgia. It may be served through its registered agent, Dr. Tracy Lynn. St. Julian, at 970 Wingfoot Trail, Fayetteville, Georgia 30215, Fayette County, Georgia, and is subject to the jurisdiction and venue of this court.
Scout, I'm just reading your comment here. I wonder if this doctor is still practicing or took a leave of absence. Okay, you know how rumors get started on the internet. Well, someone said that she got fired or whatever. There's no documentation of anything right now. If she's fired, if she's still working, if she took a leave of absence. I couldn't find anything though.
Defendant nurses John and Jane does hashtag 1-6 at all times relevant, are registered nurses, nurse practitioners, physician assistants, and /or licensed practical nurses licensed in the state of Georgia, and residents of the state of Georgia. The actual identities and residences of defendants John and Jane does hashtag 1-6 at this time are unknown to the plaintiffs but are readily known to defendants. Prime Healthcare Services Incorporated D/B/A Southern Regional Medical Center and Tracy St. Julian, MD. Upon information and belief, defendant nurses John and Jane does hashtag 1-6 are subject to the jurisdiction and venue of this court. They will be served with process at appropriate sites once their proper service address is known.
Okay, I'm just gonna go right to, she had a high-risk pregnancy. Okay, I'll play this part, you guys. Okay, it says here on January 10th, 2023, okay, Jessica's 20 years old and she missed her period. She tested positive for being pregnant and had never been pregnant before. She was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, July 2022, making her a high-risk pregnancy. We've seen how tiny she is. She's only 4'9". She went to all her doctor's appointments. Let's see.
And Ms. Ross' diabetes was not optimally managed, with her blood glucose levels often running low and at times high.
Okay.
Ms. Ross was seen at Atlanta Perinatal Associates, maternal fetal medicine specialists, for high-risk obstetrics throughout her pregnancy. A hemoglobin A1C test done on April 5, 2023, was 6.3%. She presented to Atlanta Perinatal Associates on June 13, 2023, for a follow-up visit.
Okay, and here's the baby's name. We got to keep his name out there. He is a life.
James Jessica Ross and her boyfriend, Mr. Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Sr. named their son Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr. Ms. Ross' amniotic membrane ruptured at approximately 10 a.m. on July 9, 2023. She presented to the emergency department at Prime Healthcare Services Incorporated D/B/A Southern Regional Medical Center at 10:10 a.m. on July 9, 2023.
Oh, thank you, Scott. That's so nice of you to say.
M4 Pitocin was started on July 9, 2023, at approximately 12:28 p.m., and her labor progressed. And at approximately 8:40 p.m., Ms. Ross was fully dilated and was instructed to begin pushing. The baby did not properly descend due to shoulder dystocia. She pushed without delivery for approximately 3 hours.
See, there's a problem right there. The baby's shoulders were stuck. She pushed without delivery for approximately 3 hours. What doctor makes somebody push for 3 hours? Just saying, you guys, just saying. Because you know what? I'm tiny, and my babies, were like my youngest one, she was born 2 months early, and they didn't make me push more than, 20 minutes.
Dr. Tracy St. Julian attempted to deliver the baby vaginally using different methods, including applying traction to the baby's head.
Oh my God.
There is no documentation of any nurse or Dr. St. Julian activating any emergency obstetrical protocol in a timely manner after the shoulder dystocia was recognized.
Oh my God, you guys. This is horrible.
As upon information and belief, during a significant amount of the time that Dr. Tracy St. Julian was attempting to deliver Ms. Ross' baby vaginally in the labor and delivery suite, and after recognition of the shoulder dystocia, Ms. Ross was not in McRoberts' positioning. There is no documentation in the medical records of any nurse or other allied health professional involved in Ms. Ross' care advocating for a stat cesarean section to be done prior to Dr. St. Julian deciding to do a stat cesarean section at approximately 11:49 p.m.
Oh my God.
Fetal monitor strips show repeated and consistent category 3 strips beginning at 9:26 p.m. with persistent late decelerations until approximately 10:36 p.m.
See, look at how this is laid out. Whoever did this did an amazing job.
There is no documentation of any resuscitative measures taken in response to the persistent category 3 fetal monitor strips. Fetal monitoring strips show a 10-minute period of profound bradycardia beginning at approximately 10:36 p.m. Thereafter, there is no evidence of fetal heart tones on the fetal monitor strip. Eventually, Dr. St. Julian took Ms. Ross to an operating room and attempted a cesarean section at approximately 11:49 p.m. on July 9, 2023. The baby was delivered via the cesarean section on July 13, 2023, at approximately 12:11 a.m., with initial delivery of only the legs and the body. The baby was decapitated. BB. The baby's head was delivered vaginally. CC. Upon delivery, the entire weight of the baby was 7 pounds 6 ounces.
See, this kind of stuff is hard to do, you guys, but it's important, okay?
DD. The cesarean section and proctoepisiotomy repair were completed at 3:01 a.m. on July 10, 2023. E. The Pitocin drip was discontinued at 3:01 a.m. on July 10, 2023. FF. when Dr. St. Julian spoke with Ms. Ross and her family at approximately 5 a.m. on July 10, 2023, about the death of the baby, Dr. St. Julian did not tell them that the baby had been decapitated. GG. Over the next couple of days after the death of their son, healthcare providers affiliated Prime Healthcare Services Incorporated D/B/ a Southern Regional Medical Center discouraged Ms. Ross and Mr. Taylor from getting an autopsy. HH. Over the next couple of days after the death of their son, healthcare providers affiliated with Prime Healthcare Services Incorporated D/B/ a Southern Regional Medical Center encouraged Ms. Ross and Mr. Taylor to have their son cremated instead of being sent to a funeral home for a burial of the body. 2. The family was told about the decapitation on July 13, 2023, after Ms. Ross had been discharged from the hospital.
Wow. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm looking through this so we don't have to listen to the repeated stuff. Okay, let's see. Criminal complaint, okay. This is what they say here.
Defendant Dr. St. Julian failed to practice according to medical standards generally when, on or about July 9, 2023, she grossly negligently applied excessive traction on Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr.'s head and neck and grossly negligently failed to do a cesarean section in a timely and proper manner, resulting in Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr.'s decapitation and death.
His name is Trayvon Isaiah Taylor Jr. I'll be sure to put that in the title.
Defendant Dr. St. Julian's grossly negligent use of excessive traction on Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr.'s head and neck and grossly negligent delay and delivery by a cesarean section proximately caused Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr.'s decapitation and death.
Hey, Far, you know what? I'm laughing. I'm not laughing about this, people, just so you know, if people are watching the other platforms. Because if you can't see the chat on my main channel, her autocorrect, it happens to me all the time. Okay, I'm going to continue.
Under the theories of agency and vicarious liability, Premier Women's OB/GYN, LLC is liable for the grossly negligent acts and omissions of its employee and/or agent Tracy St. Julian, MD, who cared for Miss Jessica Ross and Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr. on or about July 9, 2023. Premier Women's OB/GYN, LLC, by and through its agent and/or employee, Tracy St. Julian, MD, proximately caused tremendous excessive traction on Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr.'s head and neck, caused a delay and improperly performed delivery by a cesarean section and proximately caused Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr.'s decapitation and death.
Okay, and let's see this next part here, because I'm not going to play each little clip because I'll repeat it. So this is Exhibit 1, and it has to do with an affidavit from Eric L. Brown, MD. He's a qualified board OBGYN doctor. Okay. Let's see what he says. Hold on, you guys. Here we go.
The standard of care for nurses generally for patients with like and similar conditions such as Ms. Ross when she was a patient of defendant nurses John and Jane Doe #1-6 at Prime Healthcare Services Incorporated D/B/ a Southern Regional Medical Center on or about July 9th and 10th, 2023 requires that, once a shoulder dystocia occurs, 1. Nurses ensure that Pitocin is discontinued in a timely manner. 2. Nurses ensure that an obstetrical emergency protocol is activated in a timely manner, i.e., notice to the healthcare system triggering emergent notification of another obstetrical physician if available, notification of anesthesia, notification of the neonatal intensive care unit, NICU, and notification of other ancillary services, etc. And 3. Nurse's advocate for moving a patient for a stat cesarean section in a timely manner.
See, can you imagine all the what's the word, you guys? Help me out. All the people that are going to get subpoenaed and all these people that are going to have to be interviewed for this. That's a lot of doctors or nurses, you guys, don't you think? That would have me worried.
Defendant nurses John and Jane Doe #1-6 owed an independent duty to Ms. Jessica Ross and Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr. to provide the degree of care and skill exercised by nurses generally, under the same or similar circumstances as those presented by Ms. Ross and Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr. on or about July 9, 2023.
Okay, Scott, I'm going to read your comment here. I wonder how the doctor is feeling emotionally. That must be and will forever be traumatic for her. I agree with that. However, this is the problem I have. She wasn't honest with the parents, okay? She waited 4 days to come clean. 4 days, you guys. She had 4 days. Horrible.
Defendant nurses John and Jane Doe #1-6 failed to practice according to nursing standards. Generally when on or about July 9, 2023, they grossly negligently, 1. Failed to ensure that Pitocin was discontinued in a timely manner, 2. Failed to ensure that an obstetrical emergency protocol was activated in a timely manner, i.e., notice to the healthcare system triggering emergent notification of another obstetrical physician if available, notification of anesthesia, notification of the neonatal intensive care unit, NICU, and notification of other ancillary services, etc. And 3. Failed to advocate for moving Ms. Ross for a stat cesarean section in a timely manner.
See, I would scroll back up, but okay, right now I don't think I'm going to do this because do you guys remember when I first started doing this in the beginning here, when we started going through this document? Did it say that there was no heartbeat of the baby at one point in time before they finally did this? Huh. Yes, they are very incompetent. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Okay, it says here, okay, they're not showing the exhibits, but it's an affidavit. That's the word I want to use, you guys. Affidavit of a Heidi Shine RN, a qualified licensed and registered nurse who specializes in labor delivery.
Pursuant to OCGA 9-11-9.1, plaintiffs attach as Exhibit 2 and incorporated herein. By reference the affidavit of Heidi M. Shin, RN, a duly qualified licensed and registered nurse, who specializes in labor and obstetrical nursing in antepartum, peripartum and postpartum obstetrical care and who is competent to testify in this matter at the time of the original complaint, specifying at least one act of negligence against defendant nurses Jane Doe #1-6 and defendant Prime Healthcare Services Incorporated D/B/ a Southern Regional Medical Center, thus fulfilling the requirements of both OCGA 9-11-9.1 and 51-1-29.5.
Okay, and they're going to be, they also say, let's see, what, count 5 or whatever, fraud and intentional infliction of emotional distress. And let's see.
More specifically, the statute and case law establishes the following conditions that must be established to prevail in such a claim. 1. That the defendant made the representations. 2. That at the time the defendant knew the representations were false. 3. That the defendant made the representations with the intention and purpose of deceiving the plaintiff. 4. That the plaintiff reasonably relied upon such representations, and 5. That the plaintiff sustained the alleged loss and damage as the proximate result of the representations having been made.
And then, this is, things about the operating room. I mean, this has to do with an infant, though, so this is just heartbreaking. Who knows what's going on when you're under the knife, too? You ever think about that? I do when I have surgery, because I've heard some horror stories.
In this case, Dr. St. Julian knowingly and purposefully failed to tell Ms. Ross, Mr. Taylor, and their family about the decapitation during her first discussion with them about the circumstances of Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr.'s death at approximately 5 a.m. on July 10, 2023.
Oh my God. I don't know. I would have nightmares. Okay, Duncan, I'm going to read your comment here. The security guard at the hospital here in Colorado killed a man for not wearing a COVID mask and told his wife he just dropped dead. What? That's Colorado for you.
During this conversation at approximately 5 a.m. on July 10, 2023, Dr. St. Julian knew that what she communicated with Ms. Ross, Mr. Taylor, and their family was false. More specifically, she knew that she purposely did not tell them that the baby had been decapitated. Dr. St. Julian's conversation, where she purposefully failed to tell Ms. Ross, Mr. Taylor, and the family about the decapitation, was made with the intention of deceiving the plaintiffs.
I agree.
The plaintiffs, Ms. Ross and Mr. Taylor, relied upon Dr. St. Julian's representations that there was trauma during the delivery, without any notion of their baby being decapitated. When Ms. Ross and Mr. Taylor eventually discovered the details about their son's delivery and death, namely that he was decapitated, this caused immediate, profound emotional and mental anguish for Ms. Ross and Mr. Taylor, emotional and mental anguish that they continue to experience and most probably will experience for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, I have a friend in the state I lived in, and her little boy went in for, oh God, I can't remember what kind of surgery. It wasn't a big surgery. Well, any kind of surgery nowadays, is a big deal, but it was just something a lot of kids have done. I can't remember what it was, okay? And she couldn't talk about it, but she did talk to me because she won millions, and they killed her kid during surgery because the anesthesiologist maybe wasn't paying attention. Horrible, just horrible. All right, let's see.
When Ms. Ross and Mr. Taylor eventually discovered the details about their son's delivery and death, namely that he was decapitated, this caused immediate, profound emotional and mental anguish for Ms. Ross and Mr. Taylor, emotional and mental anguish that they continue to experience and most probably will experience for the rest of their lives.
Yep. Let's see.
Mr. Ross and Mr. Taylor were fraudulently instructed that an autopsy on their son, Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr. was not needed and was not warranted under the circumstances.
Which is a lie, which we all know that, right? Common sense tells us, no, this is a newborn infant. They need to know why this happened, Because this is not common. Well, I don't think it is. I hope not.
This was a lie. Deaths under circumstances such as the death of Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr. are always referred to the Clayton County Medical Examiner's Office for autopsy. Healthcare providers at Prime Healthcare Services Incorporated D/B/a Southern Regional Medical Center and Premier Women's OB/GYN, LLC nefariously encouraged Ms. Ross and Mr. Taylor to have their son, Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr., cremated before autopsy. This encouragement by healthcare providers at Prime Healthcare Services Incorporated D/B/A, Southern Regional Medical Center and Premier Women's OB/GYN, LLC was an attempt by them to, through fraud and misrepresentation, destroy evidence.
Okay, and then it goes here talking about the damages, and it says paragraphs 1 through 44 of plaintiff's complaints are here realleged and incorporated as they set on here out. Okay.
As a direct and proximate cause of defendant's gross negligence, Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr.'s attempted vaginal delivery on July 9, 2023, was excruciating and traumatic. Trevian Isaiah, Jr. suffered tremendous pain and suffering as Dr. St. Julian applied tremendously excessive tension, traction on his head and neck, such tension and traction that it resulted in massive blunt force trauma to his head and neck, multiple skull and facial bone fractures, hemorrhaging on his brain,
God.
hemorrhaging in his neck and around his spinal cord, multiple fractures of the bones in his neck, all ultimately resulted in his decapitation.
Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. That's why it's on the screen.
As a direct and proximate cause of defendant's negligence, Ms. Jessica Ross experienced and continues to experience tremendous mental and physical anguish and trauma. More specifically, she was awake while Dr. St. Julian was pulling on her baby's head and neck. She was awake and aware when it was clear that her child's life was in danger due to shoulder dystocia. She has been profoundly mentally and emotionally traumatized in knowing that her baby was battered during the attempted vaginal delivery and ultimately was decapitated.
And if you guys, what we just listened to previously, she delivered the baby's head vaginally. This is weird. This is really weird and sick. Who knows, man?
For Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr.'s wrongful death, plaintiffs are entitled to recover damages for the full value of his life, economic and non-economic, including but not limited to loss of earnings and loss of enjoyment of life. Trevian Isaiah Taylor, Jr.'s estate is entitled to recover damages for his conscious physical and mental pain and suffering as a result of defendant's gross negligence. Jessica Ross is entitled to recover damages for her profound conscious physical, mental, and emotional pain and suffering as a result of defendant's gross negligence. As a result of the abject fraud and misrepresentation on the part of the defendants, plaintiffs are entitled to recover punitive damages in an amount that is determined by the enlightened conscience of a jury.
Okay, and I don't blame them. They want a jury trial.
B. This action be tried by a jury. C. That judgment be entered in favor of the plaintiffs and against the defendants jointly and severally, in an amount in excess of $10,000 for damages. All costs be taxed against the defendants jointly and severally, including attorney's fees, and D. The plaintiffs have all other relief as this court deems just and proper. This 9th day of August 2023.
Okay, we are going to, oh good, it is attached, you guys. This is an affidavit from a Dr. Eric Brown. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad these are in here. I want to hear what he's got to say. Okay. Oh, he goes, I'm Eric L. Brown, and he's a OBGYN in Georgia. And then it tells his education, let's see, Doctor of Medicine in 1989, and he's worked at the University Chicago Hospital in Illinois, OBGYN in another hospital in Chicago, Illinois. And since 1996, a medical director of Gene Care Women's Health Center in Atlanta, Georgia. He's a diplomat of American Board of OBGYN Doctors. Let's see, what else does he have to say? Oh my God, this guy's educated. Okay, we're going to get past this. What does he have to say? I'm aware that this affidavit is being given for use in support of allegations in medical neglect case on behalf of Jessica Ross and Trayvon Isaiah Taylor, the dad of baby Trayvon. I'm just saying that, you guys. All right, so what did he get? He obtained through his education, training, and experiences. He reviewed the following documents: medical records from Premier Women's, medical records from the Atlanta Perinology Associates, records from Southern Regional Medical Center, videotapes of attempted delivery. What? See? Okay, somebody in my comments just said, what about videos? There's videotapes of the delivery, you guys. Attempted delivery on July 9, 2023. I wonder if that's from the parents or from the hospital. An audio recording of Dr. Tracy St. Julius and the Ross family together. Other documents, let's see, that he assumes are the following facts. Okay, Jessica's 20 years old. Okay, it just goes into that. I'm just looking through this. It's just pretty much everything we just went through. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. It said that this is what the guy said he's seen, and from the records and the video. Jessica Ross, she was pushing for 3 hours and found out the baby, had shoulder dysphoria. And she became exhausted pushing and begged the doctor to perform a cesarean. Okay? She did not honor those wishes of Jessica to have it at that time. She explained the risks of proceeding, and she attempted to have her try vaginally. So the doctor also tried a vacuum device to deliver the baby's head, and it says, quote unquote, not documented. Applying excessive traction to the baby's head. Come on now, this is crazy. I know, right? There's video evidence. There's video evidence and audio recording. Okay, there is no documentation of any nurse or Dr. St. Julian attempting to alert the in-house notifying somebody in the hospital in a timely manner about the baby's shoulder dysphoria. So they didn't let anybody know, or anybody to help repair it after the baby was already decapitated or dead. There's no documentation of the nurse or the doctor activating any kind of emergency protocol. There's no notification to the neonatal unit. See, something's wrong here. No, the baby's head was down. The baby's shoulders were stuck. Trayvon. His name was Trayvon, I'm sorry. There is no documentation of the nurses or doctors acting in any kind of way for this emergency here. Wow. Okay, the fetal monitoring strips show a 10-minute period of profound cardiac beginning at approximately 10:36. After that, there's no evidence of a fetal heart tone. See, that's what I was getting at, you guys. So there was no evidence of the baby's heart tones at 10:36 p.m. No, the baby wasn't feed first. Wow. And they brought her into the operating room at 11:49 p.m. So at 10:30 was the last signs of life of Trayvon Jr. Yes. Wow, you guys. What do you guys think of all this? Well, I'm glad to read that there is video evidence and audio with their own words and actions, right? In my opinion, they are responsible. Okay? These young parents here, they're not going to be able to trust anybody ever again, ever, for anything. You watch. My heart breaks for them. I do not have words, and I truly feel for the parents. Yeah. But I didn't know they tried to vacuum the baby out. Trayvon, I'm sorry. Baby Trayvon. See, I don't understand why she tried to use the vacuum if they knew the baby had shoulder dysphoria. The baby was stuck, the shoulders. Right? I know, right? Usually the cameras aren't working that day. Well, this is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that, baby Trayvon's parents and family, they got video evidence. Let's see, what else? Dr. Brown. Let's see, what else does he have to say? Affidavit of a nurse. What does this nurse have to say? Okay, this nurse, this other nurse that's doing an affidavit, she pretty much said the same thing as the doctor that I just read. So very sad. Wow. This is why they're all required to carry millions of dollars in liability insurance. You know, It's funny you say that, because I guess in Florida they got a law called the Sunshine Law. No, it's not the Sunshine Law. What law is that? Where you can kill somebody, even if it's neglect on your part, and not be charged and not get in any kind of trouble. Ain't that weird? And Florida's the only state that has that. Oh, thank you. She had to be. Hey, Barb, where are you watching? Because I'm seeing your comments in my chat in Kit 9168, but on StreamYard, you're not in there. That is so weird. Okay. Yep, they're afraid of losing their jobs and license. You know what? They should have been honest to begin with. Okay? Took 4 days for them to learn the truth. And I wonder if it took her 4 days to come clean because the baby went to the funeral home. I don't know how that worked out. If she knew they were going to find out because the baby's body went to, baby Trayvon's body went to the funeral home. So she knew she'd have to come clean, right? I don't know if you're watching on YouTube. Okay, I'm on my main YouTube channel streaming this, okay, which is Kit 9168. But like on Facebook and my other YouTube channel, we won't be able to see your comments unless I put them on the screen, just so you know. So if somebody ain't answering you, it's because of you don't have that option to see. It's weird. I cannot imagine how those parents must feel. I was 20 also, so they should lose their jobs and go to jail. No, I'm just letting you know, because I'm not seeing your comments in my StreamYard. But when I look at the live chat on my main channel, I see them. It's so weird. I've been having problems with live stream showing chat messages. Weird. So what I'm going to continue doing, I'm going to cover this case. I'm going to see where it leads to. Because it's very disturbing. It's a very disturbing case. No, I just wanted you to know that I would never ignore you. That's all I'm saying. I always try to respond to everybody. Okay, I want to thank everybody for being here, and I think I will end this live stream. And I'm going to come on later. And I just wanted this live stream just to be about baby Trayvon. So I'll come back later. I'll do a notification ahead of time. I want to thank everybody that came through, and I'm going to keep this family in my prayers. Horrible. Just horrible. I'm still in shock.